Hey, how are y'all doing? Hey, this is your girl Diamond. I am the executive director of Black Trans Women's Inc. And we are going to talk about Janet Jackson, the documentary on Lifetime. We're going to review it and discuss some of the themes and show love to the amazing Janet Jackson. This has been a event, and I hope y'all have been sitting down and watching the glory of the amazing Janet Jackson. Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Did y'all enjoy the documentary? Some of my friends said that it was boring. Um, I enjoyed it. There was some stuff that, of course, there's some things that you already know, but there was some things that I didn't know. I'm good. The doc was good. I enjoyed it. Yes, I loved it too. It was cool. Just them giving her flowers. I really loved. I'm loving this outfit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, this is one of my favorite colors. It is so cute. I love it, love it, love it, love it. It's really, it's really a thick, really satiny fabric. And I love it. I have a skirt this color, this exact fabric and color. That's so cute. I love um, the arm detail. I love it. It's my fire and designer. Mm, yeah, blue is one of my favorite colors. I don't want to say my favorite, but one of them. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. So let me go to my notes, aka my Twitter, to see some of the things that I talked about in this whole situation. Make sure as y'all come in, thumbs up. All right. All right. So let's talk about something really, really brief. So just a coincidence, nothing special. My paternal grandmother lived in the house across the street from the Jackson's house, that small house that Janet went back to visit with Randy. Um, when they are standing outside the house, looking at the little house that they used to live in, the house that you can see behind them is my paternal grandmother's house in Gary. And it was kind of interesting to see that. Catherine, my granny Catherine, and she lived there all her life, and she lived there when they weren't famous, like when nobody knew them, because she's in the Catherine and Joe Jackson age. Well, she would be if she would have lived. She's in their age bracket, and so she knew them pre-fame, like when they were little kids. And so it's quite coincidental. Um, there was a lot of interesting, I knew, Janet made an impact on tons of people. She's Janet Jackson. She's been around since, the 70s, basically. since she was a little kid. But it was interesting seeing all the celebrities kind of like pour their love out for her. One that particularly touched me was Questlove and who else? Who else? Who else? Janelle Monae, for some reason, when she was inducting her into the Hall of Fame, it when I was watching it, it kind of got me emotional, just because I don't know, I don't know why. For some reason, that moment got me emotional. Um, you know who I hate seeing on documentaries? I hate just seeing on shit. Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton gets on my nerves. And when he came on the screen, I'm always like, child, if you don't go somewhere and sit down. He gets on my nerves. But it was good to see all of the celebrities, show her love and show her support. Another element that I really, really liked was Catherine, Catherine's contribution to their success in the early years, when they were saying that Catherine sold a lot of their clothes and made a lot of their costumes. Tina knows who. Catherine was like, honey, Tina knows was trying to be mean. And so, but it's interesting to see, of course, this is not taken away from Joe Jackson's contribution, but when we see these cases of these really um, strict father manager type people, the mom kind of gets pushed to the backside, but you all when you hear their stories later in life, you see how the mom played her role, but she also was contributing to the idea and the drive. She was taking care of the house, taking care of everything, and making sure even in their career that she was doing it. When you think about Tina Knowles, her contribution to Beyonce and Destiny's Child, when we think about Venus and Serena Williams, when we just recently saw their movie, if you remember, when Serena wanted to play um, with Venus, Richard was focused on Venus. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? But the mama was training um, Serena at the same time. And so, of course, Venus was coming back teaching her whatever she learned when those white coaches kept on, finally coached her. But the mama was training her too. So the mama was just as a part of that kind of drive to their success as the dad was. And so you can see that in this story with Janet and the story with Joe Jackson and the Jackson Five and their rise to fame. And I thought that was really, really interesting because sometimes Catherine is seen as like a quiet, not that she wasn't quiet, but she's just going along with Joe Jackson's flow. But I think that if you pay attention, they be the moms be just as into the success too. They sacrifice and be like, yeah, we believe in our kids. And like I think it was Tito. Was it Tito? I can't remember. But she was like, you need to listen to them play. They actually play better than you. So you might need to pay attention to your children and what they're doing, bruh. Um, let's see. I was annoyed a little bit on the first day and the second day, a couple of things. Because I don't have cable, I use Hulu for my live streaming when I want to watch something live. And I'm about to fucking cancel them because, honey, the two things that I like on Hulu is Handmaid's Tale and the live. But every time I try to watch something live, it crashes on me and it's annoying as fuck. So I'm like this close to canceling their motherfucking ass. It annoys me, and I'll just pick somebody else to get my live service from. But that shit pissed me off. So I tag them on Twitter, bruh, y'all is crashing during the motherfucking Janet Jackson event. um, who else? Who else did I thought? Oh, y'all know who was really normal and cute to me? So normal and cute. That Reby Jackson, every time she got on the screen, I was like, "Oh, she is so cute, like normal cute." Like I feel like she was one of the ones that kind of kept their face the same, without not all of them, but they she didn't do too much or anything to her face, and she looks normal cute. Like, oh, you look so cute. She was just so normally cute, just normal and cute, and she was adorable auntie type, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I haven't really paid attention to her because she wasn't the in the spotlight type of family member, and so it was interesting. It was very very interesting for her to look quite normal and just cute and adorable auntie like, and I thought that was interesting for a Reby. Um, let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Somebody was complaining about how many commercials that they had on Lifetime. It was over and over and over, commercial, commercial, commercial. um, Another element of that was very, very clear, and I'm glad that they did this, is a lot of times people pit Janet against like Madonna. But what you really see in this documentary, Janet was not pitted against Madonna. Janet was pitted against her brother. He was the standard, not you white lady over here in New York, doing like a virgin and holiday and whatever Madonna was doing. You ain't the standard. My brother is the standard. That is the standard that I'm chasing, not you. You ain't no competition for me. It is bro. I'm trying to do what bro is doing and surpass him. He is the one. He is the motherfucking standard, not you, white lady. And I thought that was quite interesting and made very clear without saying it, because we always know that they try to pit the women, together, not understanding that, yeah, it's not just women out here that women are competing against, it's men too. He was a standard, but she was on his ass and surpassed him. If you remember, her debut album surpassed him. One of them, some record, they said that she broke he had the record. What's going on, girl? Um, he had the record for, I guess, number ones in an album for Thriller, and then she came and broke it, which I thought was quite interesting. But yeah, she was on his ass, and then she did her own. Um, she was trying to be, in her own lane. This also made me remember how much I love Janet's albums eras. Like it's something about she always has a new vibe, a new style, a new look for every particular album. I really loved Rhythm Nation, how her hair was, how the army, the militant, that kind of stuff. The baseball cap. I really love that. My actual favorite was the Janet album. That look, because it was more, I don't know, that red hair, that red curly hair was reddish, blondie, brownie hair. I don't know. It's something about that era. And they really pointed out that Renee was a part of that, those intimate moments. That again video, just something about that era. She just was stunningly beautiful. We'll talk about that later. um, it was something about that era that was just gorgeous. I really loved Velvet Rope. My favorite was Janet, but Velvet Rope was my second favorite because we got to see her with the red hair. We got to see her, with her hair straight, like that red straight. When they did that red straight, oh my god, um, it was just everything. But I don't know. It's something about that. If that again, never fall again. That whole that it was something about those videos that were so gorgeous and pretty to me. Like we got to see the intimate Janet. We got to see her just looking beautiful, just beautiful. And for some reason, that era just stands out in my mind as a iconic, beautiful, beautiful time for Janet. Um, yeah, it just was something about that era. But I did love Velvet Rope's era when it comes to that red hair was top tier. Was just something about it. Janet was effortless during the Janet era. Yeah, that's the way love goes. That video, those videos was just I don't know. She just looked so pretty to me. Like I remember being young and just looking at her like, God, yeah. Renee directed those. That's what I knew he had directed. Again, I didn't know he had directed the other ones, but the way they described it, it in my mind, I understood why I connected to it because, they were saying they were there was stuff when he was talking and he was interviewing, he was like, there's stuff that I see her do. There's intimate things about her body, about cute things that she does that I want to capture. And only somebody who loves you and somebody who is in love with you and who is intimate with you can know all of those little details. Let's pull the chain from her, um, from her, from her inside of her jeans. Let me unbutton it, and you pull the chain so we can see her belly button, her stomach. Just all these intimate things that a person who loves you and who is intimate with you, who is in that moment of, yes, anytime, any place in that moment of intimacy can capture your body, your essence, your cute little idiosyncratic ways when when they're laying next to you, when they're looking across from you and you're smiling and all those little things. If you've been in love, only a person like that can really capture you in that. They other people can try, but it's just a certain level of intimacy that I saw in those videos and I loved it and it just was on. It was soft, it was feminine, it was effortless. He just captured her. I just got it. So it was so well. And even their friendship, like even the people around her, you felt like all those dancers was a family. He knew how to capture them as a family because um it makes you insecure as hell. What makes you insecure as hell? Um you can tell that they were a family and they was moving as a unit. Like these was our dancers. This is you get what I'm saying. This is a moment in time in our life that we're gonna remember forever. When we think about Tina Landon and we think about even J Lo when she was a dancer at the time because J Lo was a dancer. She wasn't J Lo that she is now. Um, and so all those people and all those they captured how they were a family. But yes, I thought that era in her career was like chef's kiss. Even that motherfucking hold your titty moment, all of that. You couldn't have got that with somebody who um you couldn't have got that out of Janet um without it being somebody who loved her. Yes, 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 yes. Let me see, let me see, let me try um so let's see. Oh, and I'm another thing that I really noticed is the man she dated, Mary. I would have never put them together. She seems to really love him. She definitely has a type. If you snatch um if you snatch Jermaine ugly ass out of the picture, all her dudes, even her baby daddy, kind of look alike. From James, DeBarge, Renee, her baby daddy. If you snatch Jermaine, they all kind of look alike. But what's crazy is all of these niggas to me, and this is just my own personal type. But Renee was so far from my type that I'm looking like so confused. Like Janet, you like this? This is your type? Ooh, oh. I'm like, this is who bagged Janet Jackson. Child. This this Mexican screech looking motherfucker. he is giving he is giving um ambiguously racial light skinned drug users. Yes. and so and then when I think about Jermaine, I'm like, clearly she don't give a fuck about looks, or she was trying something new with him. And then Janet said, I attract fucking people who use drugs, people who, who are dope fiends. They didn't say nothing about the millionaire though. We'll get to that. So I thought it was interesting. So y'all tell me about there was a moment in the first part, the first night that uh, now if you come up if you're a certain age, a certain ilk, um, nowadays disciplining your children is not normal. And there was a moment where she was having a moment talking about her family's discipline. And it was so awkward to me. It was so because how they edited it was they were talking about Penny and being abused at that moment, that classic moment in Good Times. And then she went into talking about the discipline in her family. And I'm like, did they used to beat y'all and burn y'all with irons? Like, was it that level of abuse, or was it just kind of y'all got whoopings when y'all got out of line? Because I didn't. If it wasn't that, if it wasn't the level of abuse that Penny was getting, making that kind of comparison and that visual connection, that was kind of weird. I'm like, "Ugh," especially if later on she goes on to make the point that abuse without love is tyranny, and that while they disciplined us, they loved us, and it was just it almost like she was making excuses for it, especially if you're trying to convince us that it was just regular discipline, like just getting whoopings, like normal. I think there's a level of I don't know. I'm coming from a different era, so I can't. Some people is like, oh, spanking of all types are wrong. Da 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 da. I just grew up differently, and so I don't. I'm not totally against spanking. I'm against abuse, but what I think of as spanking and what I think of as abuse is two different things. If I smack you on your butt because you're doing something wrong, I don't think that that's abuse. If I um you know take the belt and tap your little butt because you're doing too much or you done did something wrong, I don't think that's abuse. When I'm beating your ass with irons and 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 with hangers and leaving bruises on you, and that's when it goes. That's when it goes too far. I don't think that that is. I think I don't think I think that's too far. But in the documentary, them making that comparison and showing that kind of transition from talking about Penny and the abuse that her mother did and what Joe Jackson did, that was kind of creepy. Unless it was that's the type of abuse that you was getting. Excuse me, that you was getting. If that's the type of abuse you was getting, then I understand you making that comparison. But if you was just getting your butt whooped because you wasn't staying in line, then a little pat 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 here and there, then sweetie, don't make that comparison. That's kind of weird to me. Um, but I thought that that was a weird comparison to make. So what did y'all think about that? What do y'all think about discipline? Like what do y'all think about what's gone too far? We think about these really tough manager type of dudes, and then they talk about how when we think about Beyonce, when we think about all those kind of tough black manager parents, Maddie Moss Clark, honey, I'll throw a shoe at you, or when we think about those tough kind of disciplinary parents, is They all say we would not be here if it wasn't for our parents. We would not have the work ethic that we do if it wasn't for our parents. We would not be at this peak level of success. Um, you get what I'm saying? We would not be here if it wasn't for that. We would be, and later on in the show, they would talk about we literally would be locked up because this is most of the people that we fucked with when we was younger. They did or locked up, and so what's the balance? What tell me what y'all think about that? What does that bring up for y'all? They said they would get hit for missing dance steps, hitting wrong notes. To me, that borders on abuse. So do you think Maddie Moss Clark was abusive too in that regards, in that context? And I've seen a lot of people online on Twitter like, oh, yeah, that she's making excuses for their abuse. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay. I think we're in a different era now. We are in a different era, and she kept on saying it's just how kind of how he was raised, and it was a cultural thing back then where you keep yourself in line. Say something to the term beat the bullshit out of you. Beat the mm, yeah, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I definitely, if I had a children, I know I wouldn't be against whooping. But I'm not hitting my child to the point where they're going to have bruises and long periods of time, all that. No, but if you're doing something wrong, I tell you to stop touching something and you're ignoring me. I might say, did you hear what the fuck I said? Sit your ass down. Don't get your ass beat in this store. Those type of things. So you feel what I'm saying? I You cuss me out. You think I don't care what these motherfuckers say. You come in my house and you buck up and you cussing me out, honey, I might pop your ass. You say some curse words to me when I tell you to do something, honey, I might pull the belt out, honey. Oh, my nose is itching. Um, Put these lights down. Woo, mm, woo. It's all right. It was making my nose itch. Ain't nothing wrong with a little ass whooping. I think in our day it was only abuse if you were bruised or bloody. Yeah, my mom. First of all, my mom didn't whoop me a lot. I think I probably got whoopings once a year, and it's usually because something that I did. It was usually I skipped school, like I got in trouble in school and didn't come and tell her that I was suspended, and got a whooping for that. Um, it usually is about school stuff, but my mom didn't really whoop a lot. Now, if she whooped me, she would just, whoop my butt, and then it's done. We called it home training. Facts. Um, a child should not be getting hit for missing notes, and I'm not against disciplining children, but that's too much for me. Gotcha. But I do think the Jackson's father was abusive. It affected that family psychologically and physically. Hmm. Yeah, I don't. It's hard for me to. It's all speculation, so I don't know. I don't know. I think it definitely becomes abuse when it starts to come from a place of anger versus place of discipline. You can tell the difference. Jermaine said women wanted him. We get into Jermaine, y'all. Don't go too fast. We get in there. We get in there. We get in there. We will get to her loves. I'm kind of trying to go in chronological order so I don't miss anything. So let's talk about her break from her dad. Like she was talking about how she, she was growing up and she was kind of just threw into the limelight. She said she doesn't remember ever being asked. Um, she doesn't feel like ever being asked to be in this business. She actually wanted to go to college, and her dad was like, no, no, we're not doing that. Um, I wonder if we would be able to see the abuse if it was just focused on one child because all of them experience. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I would want to know the extent. That's what it is to me. That's what determines abuse to me. The extent that you are going. The extent. That's what it is. Like, are you bruising them? Are you going too long? Are you hitting them with objects? That's when it like blood, that type of stuff goes too far. It when But if I'm just smacking your butt because you're getting smart, or I'm smacking your butt, or I'm whooping you because you skipped school and you lied to me, or it just it's the extent to me. That's what makes the difference. Um, Frequency and extent. Like every time you whooping, every time they do something, you get into whooping. Get out of here. Unplug the cord from the iron, going to get a switch. Yeah, that was my mama. The why is also important with discipline. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, the why is important. I do think missing a note. I'm not whooping my kid for missing a note. That's weird. I do think that's weird. But I'm also not I don't know. I don't have performer children. Like, if I'm trying to get you to get on step, I'm trying to get you to practice and work hard, and y'all is playing and horse playing while I'm trying to get y'all on. I can't say that I won't be popping you upside the head. Like, focus. But I don't know if I'm pulling my belt out and whooping you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm doing that. Knowing what I know now, I wish I would have faked having a seizure when my mom would be back in the day. I could scare her. Did y'all know that there were six sons, but the Jackson Five? Was it? I don't know what happened to the other one. Was he too young? Did he come later? Well, no, no, no. Janet was the baby. I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. Picking your own switch was so psychological damaging. I remember my mother would, this is how my mama would do. You either would get the belt. If you get to doing too much, she switches to the switch. And if you're getting to doing too much after that, she switches to the extension cord. So it just depends on your response to the belt. That's how my mama did it. uh, so yes. All right. So her switch from being a teenage girl following her dad's that sucky ass album that she said she didn't like and she just did it for them, that very, very first album. She said she didn't like the picture. I thought the picture was sickening. The picture with the red gloves with the gold studs on it. I love that picture of Janet. She said she didn't like it. Randy was too young to be a part of the Jackson Five. Thank you, Stormy. Um, until later, till they got that little gig in Vegas, right? Um, um, hey Janine, how are you? I love that picture of her. Yes, I love that picture. It was so cute. Um, how do y'all feel about that? Like, how do you feel about her going out on her own in that time? I don't know. I feel like it made her vulnerable. I feel this is it just so happened to work out because we've heard experiences of girls going out on their own and having bad experience. Look at Kesha. Look at Janet just so happened to get two cool dudes, Jimmy and Terry. Y'all think they queer or just nerds? Am I getting I'm either getting nerd vibe or I'm getting queer vibe. What y'all getting from them? Or maybe both. I don't know. I'm getting like super nerd vibe. Like, I don't know. I'm getting something. I'm getting something from them that when I hear them and listen to them, I'll be like, hmm. Yeah, a little tad bit by something like that. Maybe my door be going off. My door be going off. But sometimes some dudes I can't tell if it's a queer vibe or if it's nerd vibe. You feel what I'm saying? Like they just so nerdy that they give out that kind of no sex appeal. Because that's all they give me. They don't give me any kind of sex appeal at all. Just a pinch, a little tinge. um, they was in Minneapolis doing their thing. Um, but who knew that kind of collaboration was going to happen? And she was able to kind of find some cool guys. The worst was when they made her hold her hand out. I don't remember that part. Made her hold her hand out. What happened? What was the I don't know the context of that. I don't remember that part. Um, yeah, and then she was talking about how on that first, on Control, how they kept on asking her about her brother. That would have annoyed the fuck out of me. God. After seeing this documentary, the song Control took a new meaning. It all made sense. Oh, I had already got that context because in other documentaries and shit interviews that she was saying, she had made it very clear that Control song was about what she was trying to do. She was trying to get control of her own career, her own life. Trying to make my decisions. Uh, right, go down. When she looked back, some of the discipline should be considered war crime. Hold her hand out. I must have missed that part. Um, I think more nerd, but Janet had been married and divorced by the time she did Control. So she been out. Yeah. Um, but the idea that people also people don't know the magnitude of that Michael Jackson had at that time. His fans, his fans, he had the deepest, widest range of fans in normalcy and in fucking weird. He had some weird ass fucking fans. Y'all remember when that chick looked in the fucking limousine and was like, "Is Michael Jackson baptized?" Like, bitch, what? What kind of question is that? I'm like, you people are weird as hell. Why the fuck would y'all? What? What does that matter? why are you asking if he's baptized or not? That's so weird and stupid. But I'm glad somebody captured it because you really get a it's such a wide, deep range of weirdo fucking fans that Michael Jackson had. I, I remember when I was young, I used to find it super, super weird for people to be crying. I thought like the way it'd be different, and I didn't think it was weird if you're in person, like you're in person in their face, and they're coming up shaking your hand. That's when it can be like, oh God. But the ones that be in the audience on the 25th row, nowhere near, and they're like, and falling out and fainting. Soon as they roll down the window or something, oh girl, I be even as a kid, I used to be like, I'm I like Michael Jackson like anybody else. But it got I went out even when I was a kid, I used to be like, is it that serious? I didn't understand. Um, I didn't understand it. I literally said, "Bitch, what?" When she asked me, I did too. I was like, What? Bitch, you are weird. It's getting weird in here. Very weird." And then when they were asking, like, dudes, interviews, um, interviewer, they used to say, even when Don Cornelius told her she looks just like Michael Jackson, she don't look like no motherfucking Michael Jackson. She look like Janet. She don't look like Michael. Latoya look like Michael. um, it just was so weird. I just didn't get it. I can't rewind the part and ask myself, did that hoe say baptized? Some people was like, I think she said circumcised. I said, no, that bitch said baptized. Just a weirdo. Shit, that's me, unfortunately. I'll be nosebleeds weeping at some lyrics. Is it different when you're weeping at the lyrics? I don't know. It's the moment when they're not even singing, they're driving past. They're not singing, they're driving past, or they're going to their cars, and people are, oh, oh, oh. I'd be like, girl, what? I can't imagine. Yeah, like a loss. I've been emotional for the death of a celebrity, but I don't know. It just when I used to see that when I was younger, I used to be like, "What? You are so extra." Of all things to ask when you're face to face with Janet. What? That just weirdos. Motherfuckers is weirdos. Let's see. Oh, while watching this 80s, these flashbacks to the 80s and early 90s, um, when we were looking at these 70s, 80s, early 90s black girl celebrities that we're getting a glimpse of, what I really, really noticed is how makeup brands didn't give a fucking shit about black girls' complexions because they had everybody looking ashy dry. They had that fucking rouge all on their cheek and on their eye, and the same color in the eye, in the right here, and on the fucking cheek was fucking ugly ass red. They was looking gray and ashy. They did not give a fuck about black girls in their complexion and their makeup color, because when I look at 70s and 80 makeup on the black icons, not even like, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you see some everyday motherfuckers on the street and you see their pictures, it's different. But when you look at the celebrities back then, they used to have them girls looking all gray and stuff. You had the black and whites were the best pictures because you could only get the T. You couldn't get into the horrible color that they were painted. But this really showcased how shitty they were painting Janet when she was in them interviews. How it was horrible. I was like, what is happening? Until you get into the 90s era where we get into the Kevin Aquans and how he started to, to me, Kevin Aquan really started to change how black people, not just black people, a lot of people were doing makeup, but definitely how he was doing black people makeup. Kevin Aquan, Sam Fine, um, those are two that I really distinctly remember. Sam Fine in the early 90s, Sam Fine and Kevin Aquan. And so, yeah, but prior to that, child, the black girls was looking a mess. When it comes to their color complexion and not looking ashy, girl, did y'all notice that? It was horrible. I didn't like it. Um, so Then we get to we already talked about this must be by my oh, that's because it's by my foot. The plug is by my foot. Boom. So so about these, let's talk about these relationships. So James was a drug addict. He was weird. He was a part of that 80s Elder Barge era. Most of them niggas was, either cokeheads or crackheads. So I'm glad that she got out of that one. Then she had Renee. Did y'all think Renee was authentic or just trying to be a star? What was that about? What y'all thought that was? And she was just young, innocent, and naive and didn't clock it. Because even he came over. Do you want to come over and meet Janet Jackson? Like literally, the reason why he came over was because of that, to meet Janet Jackson. I don't know. It always felt like maybe he fell in love with her, but felt like it was a come up. I think he was trying to come up in Hollywood. Yeah, this was his ticket. It felt like this, maybe not maliciously, like, ooh, I'm planning to come up with her, but in the sense of I got a chance to do this. This is a chance to woo this woman that just so happened to be this megastar. This can change my life. I don't want to fuck this up. So I can be faithful. I can do all the things so I don't fuck this up. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's not necessarily like I'm out here looking for celebrities to snag. It gave me, this is an opportunity of a lifetime that I can't fuck up. So if I just do the right things and impress her and she likes me, let me not fuck this up. I can see anybody being in that situation. I mean, if you meet, who is your favorite celebrity, your handsome celebrity? If you meet them, or beautiful, whatever you date, and you meet them and y'all vibe, of course you're never gonna say, you're gonna be like, oh, I just like them as a person. That's the politically correct thing. But you can't tell me that you don't consider that at all. You don't consider that this is a celebrity at all. You don't consider that this person has coins at all. You don't consider that at all. It's hard for me to believe that you don't consider that at all. That's shit like that is what makes a motherfucker a catch. Like even if you a regular degular dude, like you meet a dude and you hear that he lives in, yeah, you might like his personality, but if you hear that he lives in this nice neighborhood, he take you to his house and he got this fire ass house. You know he worked for an oil company, Goodyear chemical plant. He worked for he worked for something. Uh, that is something that you consider. He was rich though too. Yeah, but was he fame and Janet rich though? Rich in fame and rich in legacy in that regard. Yeah, the whole recording and videotaping everything was weird to me. That is definitely weird. His family was wealthy. Hmm. Yeah, I still feel like even with that, even with your, it's like Kim Kardashian. I don't think just because her family is wealthy doesn't mean she wasn't chasing niggas with money for a reason. Because yeah, they can be wealthy, but that don't mean, you get what I'm saying. I have full access to a coin. I got access to especially her with all them fucking family members. But yeah, I don't know. I do think he was trying to come up. Yeah, it was some. It was definitely a come up on either a profile level or having their own coin. Hello, Van. Um, you already with someone who has a camera in their face 24/7, and then we got to come home and you got a camera in their face too. That would be so late, honey. Yes, wealthy doesn't equal fame. We know that. Yeah, I thought that I just thought all of that recording intimate moments, all that is weird. All that is weird, and I guess it paid off because he was able to use it. I wonder how much did it cost for her and Lifetime to get the footage for the show, because they said in the thing that this is footage nobody has ever seen because it was footage that he had. And then when they divorced and he's I guess sued her or something or whatever about his contribution to her career. I mean, she made it clear in this documentary that he was a big part of her new direction. So, and made it clear that this is a new direction in her hard work and blah blah blah. But he was a part of that. So it was kind of like, oh, you did make it clear that he contributed a lot, his ideas and everything. He won that. Yeah, he did won. But how they laid it out here, um, he was well, she said, oh, I get it. It don't The way she laid it out, she made it clear that he contributed to her success. A lot of the direction that she went. So, I mean, if it was a woman, we wouldn't be questioning it. Well, I'm not saying that we're questioning it, but if that was a woman, we would be like, hey, you are she did contribute to your shit, pay her. And the way they did it, it showed that he contributed his ideas and stuff to her success. She was with him for 9 years, a very long time, and people didn't know they were married. And then Renee was affecting her self confidence. He always wanted her camera ready. I think that came later. I think he was boosting her confidence early on, and then it started to be later on down the line, in the Janet album era, which I thought was stupid. Um, that wasn't a good look for him. I thought that was stupid as hell for him to be on that type of bullshit. And so all right, so let's talk about Jermaine. Um, Janet always preferred non-black men. Well, I don't think the DeBarge dude was non-black. I think he was black. He was just light skinned. Renee didn't look black. He looked like he was some kind of Latinx person. I don't know what his history was. Jermaine was black, and her baby daddy is Arab or Middle Eastern, some type of Middle Eastern. So she got two blacks and two, POCs. So, she liked the POC. The reality is Joe Jackson fucked up all them kids, all of them. Mm. The barge are black and white. Yes, they are. They are biracial. Biracial children who identify as being black. Jermaine, Jermaine. I'm like, what? This the beauty. I don't want to say the beauty, but what Holly Berry, Beyonce, Janet Jackson, Rihanna, what they all have taught us is that niggas is gonna need. It don't matter how pretty you are, they'll beat your ass. It don't matter how sickening, how sickening body you got, they will cheat on you. They will do it all the stuff that you think is the reason why they might stay or be faithful or love you. Da, da, da. They don't care. It's particularly when you get to um that level of that level. I don't know. It's something about when you get to that level of celebrity or you're that level of beauty, you are literally just a trophy to them. Like you literally, oh my God. Initially, you are uh, um, you are you like a ego boost, and then after you have it, you're done. The Barges are biracial. Renee was Mexican. Last husband was Arab. Jermaine was just to get her black card back. Yeah, I don't think Janet was ever in a situation where her black card was gone. To me, I've never experienced Janet having her black card gone, and I don't think biracial people are not black. So, but that's a conversation that I don't be arguing with people about people's identity. uh, so it's all about who you identify. I have biracial people in my family, and they identify with being black. So I'm not gonna tell them that they're not black just because they're biracial. That's weird to me. Um, Sitting there with all them gaps in his mouth. Did my girl like that? The audacity. It's just it. I just is like you of all people. Women in films can't win. They can't. Jermaine is one of those who should thank God for money. Cause Shauna Henson, are you trans? No, but I got love and respect for the community. What? Why are you asking people are they trans? That's weird. Hey Tyler, how are you? I know Jermaine is still kicking himself for fumbling that ball. That was weird. Like I don't. It's I'm not expecting just because I think you're unattractive, like you should be feeling like, oh, you know, uh, like I don't know, whatever my ideas about your looks does not determine your self worth. But when I look at Jermaine and I look at and I think about Janet Jackson, I'm like, nigga, you think you gonna get better than that? Have you gotten better than Janet Jackson? You haven't. You haven't. There's that. How you lose that bag? That bag that you getting some. You finally got. That's another thing. When you get somebody like Janet, you know for sure that she likes you for you because she already got money. She already got fame. She got everything before you even came in the picture. So it's like other bitches you like. You know what I'm saying? You like maybe they with me for my money, maybe they not, maybe they love me for me, but at least you know she fucking with you because she like you, motherfucker, not because money, fame, or anything like that. And see, when I say Jermaine should have been more grateful, and that gets kind of creepy because when I think of people, when I think of desirability and desirability politics, should we I talked about this. I don't know if I talked about it on here, but when we were talking about Euphoria, and I don't know if y'all watch Euphoria, but there's a character on there, this big girl character named Kat, and she's with this very, very nice guy named Ethan. And he is just doesn't turn her on. She's not passionate about him. He's a nice guy. He doesn't treat her bad. But there's a level of, because she's a big girl, you should be like, oh, you should be grateful to have a good man because you a big girl who gonna fuck with you. And that kind of puts Jermaine in that range. Just because I think you're unattractive, I'm supposed to think that you should be like grateful because you got this beautiful woman like Janet Jackson. That feels like that. So it's hard for me to say it, but I have to be honest. I do feel like it. I do feel like, nigga, you. I do feel like that. I feel like you of all people, but it does get weird. It feels weird for me to have that position because if it was not an ugly man, I wouldn't have that. I would feel like I was being hypocritical because when I think of other people, other things, I'm more sensitive about it. Like, like that character. I was like, she should be able to want other things and be able to be free and have passion. I shouldn't think she should be grateful for what she got if she don't want it. He's a black man. We can say that. I don't know. It feels weird saying it, but I feel it. I don't think my opinion of his looks should determine his worth and what he should be grateful for. I guess that's what it is. Do you see what I'm saying? Because would we say that to somebody else? Would we say that to somebody else? Like we wouldn't say that. Or would I say that to somebody else? No. Somebody else, I'm like, oh, you should be grateful you got this attractive man. Why would you fuck this up? I don't know. I don't think I would say that to somebody else. I'm glad black men are not the only choices for gender. Amen. Because if anybody taught us how shitty black men can be, is motherfucking Serena Williams. She tried and tried and tried and tried to date, and honey, she settled on that Reddit owner and got a nice baby daddy with coins. Because Serena Shaw was trying to find her husband. I just wish I was if I was physically attracted to people outside of blackness, I feel like I would be much better. I don't know if I'd be much better because it's not like, I don't want to say that. Because I'm not seeing trans women particularly out here with tons of success outside of blackness either. It's not like the ones who are open to non-black men are just having tons of success. But so I don't know. But I don't know. I'm just not attracted to non-black men. I'm barely attracted to, mixy looking men. Definitely barely attracted to them. I like them chocolate and dark and ebony and, I like my men black. White men killing the black girls, no shade. I don't know. Maybe she should try a trans man. I would treat her like a queen. Amen. I think as long as she get the right one, because some of them is toxic as hell. Man, I think they're just saying Jermaine should be lucky to have Janet because he's ugly as fuck. Why does everyone think Jermaine, a black man, was lucky to have another black woman, Janet, but the non-black men were a prize, huh? Make it make sense. I said earlier, I don't know if you were listening, you might not have been here, but I said earlier that none of these men were my type at all. None of them. Even I'm not into that type. None of them men was my type. So yeah. But Jermaine, I'm because he's a black man, I'm invested in I don't want her with a dope fiend, so James wasn't an option. And I was too young for that relationship when they were in. When she got with Jermaine, I was of age. When she was with um, the bars dude, I was a kid in the '80s. I was fucking a kid. Jermaine's type is different. Yeah. I heard Jermaine play for both teams. Um, I don't know, maybe. Mm. So then we get to um, yeah, weird. Renee was talking hella shit about her being heavy. She was never heavy in the sense of where when he was with her, she is not heavy. She was regular degular. And one of Zarandrian had a post about this. Baby, there's some pictures that I go back that I thought that I was fat, and I go back and look and be like, child, I was not fat at all in that picture. I wish I could go back to that body because I wasn't fat, but I thought at the time that I was fat. I was like, God, I'm gaining so much weight. And I wasn't even fucking big. And that's how I thought about when they were saying that Renee was trying to be say that she was heavy. I'm like, when Janet, we done seen Janet heavy when she, you know, out and doing her thing and not don't have no tour. But when she's working, honey, Janet be slim. She know how to get that shape back to normal. Not normal, back to pop level stardom. And I love how they didn't even talk about the baby daddy, that marriage. They talked about the child, but the Arab baby daddy, they said fuck him. What about your baby daddy, Janet? Fuck him. We're not putting him at all. Mm, her ex Renee looks suspect. He didn't look suspect to me. He looked like a Mexican, like a California Mexican. Very that from the 80s, 90s. What is up? No. Had Jenny wrapped up like a mommy. Looking for honey, girl. No, no, thank you. But she got her baby out of it, so she good. She got her little baby out of it at 50. Damn, having a baby at 50. That was wild. He was a billionaire too, and I think the baby daddy abused her. Oh, well, that's wild. More tea. More tea about the abuse. Mm. So the Super Bowl thing, it also got weird when she was trying to tell people to not wear out Justin and we are friends now and we're over it. Girl, shut up, Janet. Shut up. We want to read Justin. We're gonna read Justin. Mind your business. You said you moved on. You moved on. Let us do what we're doing over here. If we want to read Justin, we're gonna read Justin because we didn't like how he did you. We didn't like that shit. We don't like how his career went on and you got to wait years and years and years. What did he contribute to the culture after that? But some motherfucking Bruno Mars type of albums. Justin trash in my eyes. He was dead wrong. Child. While I do think it was an accident, I think that his response to it was shitty. He, he's a Sikh. She ain't try to get the head chopped off by speaking ill of him. I'm sure he just can't speak of him at all. Oh, child. Talking about her and Justin still friends. Girl, fuck him. Right. No one cares about that. No one cares. I don't know. We had it's interesting to see. I don't know. That just didn't seem, even at the time, it didn't seem big. It didn't seem big to me. It didn't seem like it was some big ass deal. We had seen nipples before. What is happening? It was so weird. But I know how misogynoir works. I have a question off the subject. Do y'all think Janet's cheeks are real, or has she had work? Is Janet having work like a secret? I'm trying to. Um, I think her work is pretty obvious. I know she has another job. I know she got implants. She's talked about work, getting work. Is that, would she need to lie about getting work? I don't know about the cheeks. She's always had cheeks. I don't think cheeks. I know she got her nose and cheeks done, but and any kind of sprucing up. If I got the coins, I got the coins. But I don't think her work is secret though. They spoke once since then, but they still Judas. Girl. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like her work is obvious. I feel like the part of her. I don't know. Are we still in that? Are we still in the era where work is like a taboo? Are we still in that era? It's a whole generation of trans women that have the Janet Jackson look, or they want it. Hey Marissa, how are you? I heard Michael owned an Arab prince a lot of money before he died, and Janet married that prince to pay the debt off, like a bride service arrangement. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. Like if y'all believe these conspiracy theories, especially shit like that, y'all weird. Plastic surgery is very normal. Yeah, it's really normal to me. And not just because I'm trans. I know plastic surgery has a different connotation and relationship with the trans community, but but I think it's becoming normal for people in general. I think when we were, remember when they had that show, Extreme Makeovers, where they were getting, I think that was the time that it was like, ooh, surgery, 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 surgery. But nowadays, I mean, it's not even, it's not even news no more to me. Unless you get some botched ass shit, then it kind of gets like, ooh, we're talking about how you got some botched ass shit. But why are we talking about Chloe Bailey? Diamond, do you think Chloe Bailey is as attractive as they make her out to be? I don't know what that means. Do people make, is Chloe Bailey ugly? Is that, I don't, who is making Chloe Bailey out to be um like some top tier level attractive person. I don't think she's ugly. I think she's an attractive girl. I definitely think she got a banging ass body. But I don't I don't understand. People are not I don't see people like making her out to be more. Like you say that as if people are making her out to be more than what she is. I don't really hear people talking about Haley being I hear them talking about her performances being too much. I talk about, of course, she has a gorgeous body. I definitely hear people talking about her body because it's gorgeous. Um, but I don't think people are in my circle of people are making her seem to be more than what she is. I don't get that vibe at all. I think she's an attractive girl. I think that she it's a great body. It's really her voice that is really her thing. Um, yeah, she looks she's cute to me. I would say cute. I wouldn't say she's gorgeous, but I would say she's cute. She's cute with a banging ass body. That's what I would say about her. She's cute. I definitely think Haley in the face, even though she be looking like Dren from Splice sometimes, it's something about Haley's face that is prettier to me. Something about Haley's face. Now she got them wide ass eyes, this kind of space apart where she's giving Splice, but it's pretty. Remember the trash show, The Swan? Yes, I do remember that. Wasn't that weird? What about Lori Harvey? I think Lori Harvey is gorgeous. I think Lori Harvey is all around gorgeous. Regular body, but enough body to be on point. Her mug is what sits to me. I like her mug. I still see her as a kid. I have to remember she is grown. Like shit, ain't she like 24, 23, 24, 22? Somewhere definitely grown woman. She gives pretty girlfriend, yes. She gives definitely elf. She would play a great elf. Is it me or is Lifetime always coming out with the banging movies or doc at the top of the year? Last year it was the Clark Sisters. The year before it was R. Kelly doc. Yeah, they are investing in black folks. They're investing in that black um, market now. Diamond got girl crushes. No, I don't have girl crushes. I know what girl look like. I would say they're my crush. I'm not attracted to women unless they are masculine women. I'm attracted to young ma. um, masculine women. Lena Wave, she looks sexy. She went live the other day in her little sweater and was looking so sexy. You know, I got you got to be butch for me to like you if you're a girl. A single black woman. Who is that? Is that the with the two big girls with Amber Riley and something? I think that's what it's called. With Amber Riley and what's that other girl name who played on the Clark Sisters? When Janet was about to come on, the Salt and Pepper biopic was playing. I was like, "Ooh, this is horrible." The Salt and Pepper biopic was horrible, man. I was like, "Girl, I can't see you eating box evenly no way." I can see me. I can see it. I can see it if they're, especially if a dude is involved. You know, I could see it. But even if one is not, I can see sexy, masculine, hot lesbian, really masculine, not just, not like a stem, like a stud, like Snoop from The Wire, those kind of ones. I like them. I can see me playing and having some fun. Amber Riley and Raven Goodwin. Yes, I have no interest in watching that. I have no interest in watching it. I didn't like the movie that it's kind of seeming like it's based on. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Y'all know any trans women, black trans women in Paris? I'm going to Paris, and I would love to meet some black trans folks there. We gotta do some research about what's going on in the trans community there, playing in the lady pool. I wish, I wish, I wish. Yeah, yeah. Huh. But yes, overall, um, the documentary was good. What about the Coca-Cola deal that went sour? I know that was a cute coin gone to waste. I thought that was so horrible, but like she said, like she kept repeating that part. Guilty about it by association, and they are connected. And yeah, I didn't. Shady that she lost her little deal. I wonder have they ever tried to come back and get a deal with her? And she was like, no. No, don't worry about it. Go back. Remember what y'all did to me when my brother got acquitted? Y'all wore me out. Keep that same energy. Keep that same motherfucking energy, bruh. All I know is we need some more black trans women in Ohio. I'm looking for a wife in Ohio. I'm pretty sure in Cincinnati there was tons of black trans women that were working at the dock. I don't know if the dock is still around, but that's old school. Um, they were tons of trans women in Dayton, or Columbus. I'm pretty sure there are tons of trans women in Cleveland because that's more black. Um, you gotta be out here searching, honey. You gotta be out here searching, baby. It was also interesting to hear they asked her to do the Super Bowl 3 times before she actually did it. Mm. Yeah, I thought about that too, but she probably just wasn't ready. Timing and everything like that. Probably just wasn't ready. I don't know. Mama. Ohio had the coins if you were touring, so I know They were there. Oh, baby, yes. I used to make coins in Cincinnati. Ah, Cincinnati, Cincinnati. I used to make coins in Cincinnati. Yeah. I never been to Cleveland other than like driving through. I'm not driving through, flying through and then going somewhere else. I've never been to, but I've been to Columbus, Dayton, and Cincinnati. And Cincinnati was, I always made coins in Cincinnati. It was always a lovely coin. Mm. Pittsburgh was cute. Yeah. Detroit was horrible. Horrible. Detroit was horrible. Detroit was horrible. Those are my surrounding cities, so I'm going to look. I'm in Akron, though. Aren't far from me. Thanks for the advice. Akron, is it Akron? Akron, Akron. I used to talk to a dude in Akron when I was from Akron when I was in college. His dick was little, but he was tall and fine. But that piece was late. He was from Akron. Cleveland is nice. Lived there as a preteen and early 20s. Mm, yeah. Yeah, I run into attractive men in Akron. Yeah, I actually met a couple of dudes from Akron that was handsome. But the one I remember it was went to Jackson State with me, and he was so handsome, just tall. He was like 6'4" and just brown. He had some pretty ass lips, and he was such a gentleman. And that piece was on late. That piece was on late. That piece was on small. That piece was on many, many. Too many hoes in the streets. In the D, the ads don't get no love. Plus cheap dates. Yeah, it was tons of sheets. You know any trends in Detroit? I know there's tons of trends in Detroit. Plenty of trans people in Detroit, child. Most trans women from Detroit I don't get along with. It's something about trans women in Detroit that something about their demeanor is combative. And so most girls I know from Detroit that I've met in my life in our city didn't get along with her. She was just like the hater type. She was a hater ass bitch when I lived in Indianapolis. And then um, me and we cool now, but me and Lala didn't get along. Lala Zanel, we didn't get along in the earlier part of our relationship. We were supposed to twirl, but we cool now. She cool as hell now. She was defending her little gay mama, but then when her gay mama showed her true colors, she came back and was like, "You were telling the truth, girl. My bad." But she was trying to be loyal to her gay mama, so I understand. I don't know anything about Detroit, child. That is not a city for me. I went there one time. I went there no, twice. I went there one when I was an escort, and the coins were late. 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 Coins were late, so I never went back there for that. But then I went back for on some activist shit, and that was somebody had paid for me to go there for something. I can't remember, but yeah. Never will be in Detroit And then it seems like all the trends chasers, I'm gonna call them trends chasers. It seems like all the trans attracted or trans amorous men that are online kind of being visible are from Detroit. It seems like they all from Detroit. So it seems like all the niggas from Detroit are ran through. In my mind. So Detroit doesn't sound like an appealing place to look for um, a spouse or anything. Wait a minute, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like all the ones that are kind of visible are from Detroit. Make sure y'all thumbs up. I see 22 people. Oh, damn. Have you listened to Jay Howe? He's an artist with amazing range, especially his song "Something About You." Nope, never heard of that person. Never heard of that person. Lay your head on my pillow and just relax, relax, relax. Most men are on the DL anyway. They need to be outed. Stop protecting these fragile male egos. I don't know about all that. What's the next meal you plan to cook? Me? Um, oh, I don't be cooking like that. um, what's the next? Oh, I don't have any plans to cook. I don't be cooking like that. When I live alone, I don't really cook unless it's like the beginning of the month. I go grocery shopping like the beginning of the month, and I might plan a meal then. So when I go grocery shopping, you know, once I usually pay all my bills on the first, and then whatever money I have, I'm like, okay, well, let's go get some groceries that's gonna last you through the month, or something. And then I decide in that day to cook something, but it won't be until I go to the store and decide. But towards the end of the month, when the fridge is full of something that I don't want to eat or don't want to cook, usually, like today, I went to eat sea bass from Miyako's, this Japanese restaurant. It's a sushi bar. If I lived in Houston, I would stay in Papados. Mm, I live right up the street, like 2 lights away from Papados. So Papados is um um, so you get bored. I've been there so much. I don't want to say I get bored, but I don't go there as much as I did when I first moved here. Do you like trends? Opera singer Toner Brown. She's a cutie. Um, I know Tonya Brown. I don't know her personally. Um, is she an opera singer or is she a? I thought she was a violinist. I didn't know she was a singer. Um, but yes, I don't know her personally. I know who of her. I know who she is, but I don't know her personally. Just say I like her, and we don't have negative history, but we also don't have a friendly history either. So I don't know anything about her. I think Brianna's friends with her. So you might want to ask Brianna about her. What goes on in Papados? Papados is a Cajun, like Louisiana style restaurant. I think she plays violin and sings opera, mezzo soprano. Yes, I don't know. Yeah, I think all I know is that I think she's the first trans person to play at Carnegie Hall. I think that's when I first learned, not when I first learned about her, but that's when I first started to engage with her. And the engagement was kind of weird. um, so I didn't continue the engagement. But what are your thoughts on those podcasters that had on rapper Asian Doll? What about them? I don't listen to male podcasters. Oh yes, I do. That's a lie. I listen to Benjamin Dixon. I listen to his show because I really like Benjamin Dixon, and he's very trans affirming. And the black guy who tips. I listen to a bunch of, not a bunch, but black guy who tips. Rod and Rod and Karen from Black Guy Who Tips, and I listen to um, Benjamin Dixon. So those two people, those two podcasters, are the only males that I listen to. I don't really listen. Definitely not listen to no misogynistic motherfuckers. I'm definitely not listen to anybody who's anti-gay, anti-queer. If y'all not affirming women, trans folks, gay people, black people, if you not on that, I'm not listening to. um, yeah, I don't fuck with them. That's my specialty. Creole cuisine, my favorite. But yes, I don't. Yeah, I don't listen. Yeah, I don't listen to it. Um, yeah, Katie Bowie show in Atlanta is trans friendly. He had trans women on his show. What are you doing? Look, he's flying around. Hey. And having trans people on your show isn't always doesn't mean you're a safe place. Um, it's how, questions you ask. How do you talk about trans people when they're not on your show? Like, when do you even discuss trans issues? Do you bring up trans, news? You know what I'm saying? Maybe not always, but how do you talk about trans people when they're not on your show? That's what I pay attention to, because you can always have a trans person on your show just for the sensationalism, and just to be, let's bring a transgender person on the show. You can always have that, like tokenism, but how are you talking about trans stuff when we are not in the studio? Because you can be real respectful. Look at how, Jason Lee talks about trans people, and then he brings T.S. Madison on. You know what I'm saying? Look at definitely Breakfast Club, right? Um, yeah, having trans people on your show don't move me. We're like a hot topic now, so of course they're gonna have trans people on the show. Um, Horrible decisions. They have had multiple trans people on their show. And then what trans people are you choosing to bring on your show? Are you choosing the Flaming Rose? Are you choosing the Hope Giselles? Are you choosing um, Caitlyn Jenner's child? It depends on for me, what type of trans people you're bringing on the show. Um, What does that look like? Are you bringing them on because they are more palatable and they're not going to call you out on your shit in the middle of the show? Or they're going to try to coddle you and be like, yeah, I am. Cis people. Whoa, cis people brought me on their show. No. Are you going to be one of those? Is it those type of trans people? If it's those type of people, I'm like, okay. Don't be like the Breakfast Club, having Johnny Mock on their show and then have Lil Duval on the next show talking about killing trans women on dates. Yeah, weirdos. Surface level at best, yes. They know they're cool audience. But yes, I like Benjamin Dixon. I like Rod and Karen from the Black Guy Who Tits. Um, Trying to think of, do I listen to any more black people? Let me look at my list. Black men. I'm definitely not listening to no white people. White men. Definitely not. Definitely not. Like Joe Rogan. Them people. No, come on. I'll never give them a click or a view ever. Um, yeah, most podcasts I'm listening to are going to be left feminist, um, black women, trans women, gay men. Sometimes they can be extra too. Um, um, Trying to think of the most conservative people that I listen to. Yeah, I don't listen to any conservative. Yeah, I don't listen to anybody that's conservative. I used to be the person that'd be like, "Oh, let me listen to other people's opinions," but I feel like that's a waste of time. Most of the male podcasts are misogynistic and transphobic. Are misogynistic and transphobic? Yes, they are. All right, we got 15 minutes. What else y'all want to talk about? Yeah, I don't deal with the hoteps. I don't deal with the white supremacists. Um, the conservative podcasting. The podcasts that are my favorite are going to be Tea with Queen J, Bag Ladies, Queer Walk, the podcast, Inner Hoe Uprising, um, Black Male. Like I said, is Black Guy Who Tits. Um, and if you like a political black male, it's going to be Benjamin Dixon the third. The Benjamin Dixon Show. I like his. Um, what else? Bag Ladies. That's the Afro Latinx podcast. Of course, other trans podcaster, Rihanna. Is it Girl Down? It's not Box 512 anymore. It is Girl Down. Um, she's been talking in here, so you'll see it. Girl Down podcast with Eon. Yes. Her. I love small doses. Amanda Seal. So I like Amanda Seal. I would like her. I like her with other people. I don't. It's something about Amanda Seal that feels particularly after that situation with the club and the insecure people. She has been particularly too defensive. And I like when she wasn't that defensive. I like when she was just wearing people out. How are you enjoying the second season of Euphoria? Euphoria is one of my favorite shows on TV right now. I love it. 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 There are some weird things about it that I don't understand, but I like it. I actually did a live talk with Money on her show on Queer Walk. That was really, really good. To where we discussed it. Small doses is dope. Yeah. She's a Cancer, not surprised. Yeah, they burned her a little bit because of the backlash and that kind of situation. Um, Yellow Jackets is dope. Yes, I love it. Thanks for mentioning that. Yes, I haven't got to finish watching it because they have it on. I don't know. They want me to pay for Showtime, and I'm not paying for Showtime. Sorry. So I only got to watch the first episode. Do you plan to watch the spinoff of Game of Thrones? I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Game of Thrones, anything that has to do with Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I know that stuff is over now, but any kind of spin-offs, remakes, anything that's my shit. That's like my lifetime favorite shit. So I'm gonna always watch that. I'm really thinking about rewatching Game of Thrones. I have never like everything else, like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I've gone back and rewatched the whole thing. I haven't done that with Game of Thrones because I was still kind of pissed off about the ending. So, but I'm thinking about starting to watch it from the beginning again because I haven't rewatched it yet. I haven't. That's something I can just do. What am I currently watching? Yeah, I think what I'm currently watching is Euphoria. I'm not watching anything else. Ooh. Have you seen Ray Donovan? I have not seen that. I don't know what that is. A wing. Did you ever watch Lost? Nope, never watched Lost. Mm-mm. What's the top three most important things on the trans agenda in 2022? I have no idea. We are not a monolith, and there is a million of trans people, and so there's not some one agenda. You would have to, create a survey and survey all the trans people and ask them what their agenda is. My agenda is to not be ashy, to eat well, to stay hydrated, to get money. It's about a Hollywood hitman starring a lie. I don't know how to say that name. John Vogt. Wait. Super good if you like action series. They just finished it with the movie. Yeah, that's right. I just want to eat well. Oh, I want to travel. Let me add traveling. Eat well, not be ashy, stay moisturized, get money, travel, mind my business. That's on my agenda. Be stress free. That's my agenda. Now, other trans people, I don't know what their agenda is. I'm pretty sure their agenda is similar, but you would have to ask them. But I do know that we're not a monolith. And hmm da da da. Maybe you can ask the audience here. Trans people, what is on y'all agenda for 2020? Is it estradiol surgeries and sports? What is the big subject of bathroom bills? Is that on y'all agenda? Are you black, man? That's such a white person question. Like, what's on the agenda? That's such a like a white ally question. Ain't that such a like a white ally question? So what's the trans agenda for 2022? I'd like to know what all you people are trying to do in 2022. You people. I'm loving euphoria, but the only thing that is absence of dark skin thing. Turn all your sons gay. Dark skin femmes on the show. The colorism is quite obvious on Euphoria. It is. Yeah, that's you're serious. That's hilarious. It's more hilarious than serious. Ooh, you look cute. It's a cute picture. Oh. I'm having stage one of my bottom surgery this year. I'm excited 2022 is off to a great start. Word, congratulations. I want to see more of Algie Smith finance on the show. Who is Algie Smith? Who is Algie Smith?
According to Wikipedia, L.G. Smith is an American actor
Oh,
and singer.
oh, McKay. I don't like McKay. Mm-mm. He doesn't give me my life. You know who gives me my life that's in that vein? Who plays? Mm, I don't know. I gotta find his name. Kendar Williams Sterling. Mm-hmm. Kadar. Oh, shit. I like him. He's the black boy on Sex Education. He's so fine. He is so fine to me. All the gifts we done seen on that show, and his song been one of them. Yeah, they only show little old white peas. No big peas. Honey. Have we seen any of the main characters' peas? We ain't seen any of the main characters. It's always the extras. Just like that episode when they was telling them to strip down. You knew, motherfucking, you knew they weren't gonna have Bruce with strip down child. I was like, they are not about to have Miss Zendaya strip nude. I want to see Nate Jacobs paint. I do not. When he gets on the screen, I'll be like, he's sexier in person, except for Yaya off of X Men or Watchmen. And that was a prosthetic. Everybody keeps saying it was a prosthetic. So, I mean, was that was that worth it? What's the longest y'all have traveled for a date? He's a Brit, so I want to know if he cut or uncut. I don't want to know anything. Who is hot on um who do I like on um Euphoria? Do I find anybody attractive? Not really. Hours and hours for some damn Bojangles. I don't know what you talk about. Cut that fool off afterwards. Hours and hours for some damn Bojangles. Hmm. I don't know. Jimmy, I've got on a train in DC to meet someone. Oh, hours and hours to meet somebody at Bojangles. I see. Gotcha. I was trying to make the connection. Gotcha. Hour and a half for some damn Bojangles. Ooh, no. Is Fez cute to me? No, he's not. That is something of, even though that is his real personality, that he's not putting on an accent. That's how he Fez talks in his real life. It's something about that I call it wigger, that wigger vibe that it just makes me uncomfortable, and I don't find it sexy at all. Um, have I ever traveled? The furthest I have traveled, I've never traveled for a date per se, but I have drove for some dick for a hookup. Let me see how far the drive was. It was an hour. Usually because I drive fast, it was 45 minutes. But yeah, I drove. I used to take my mom's car when I was in Jackson. I used to talk to this dude named Sarge, and he lived in Mount Olive, Mississippi. He lived in Mount Olive, Mississippi, and I lived in Jackson. So I would drive my mom's car because I stayed with my mom at the time. This is when I was probably like 25, 25 or 26. And he stayed in Mount Olive, which is like southeast of Jackson. And I would ride, and he lived in this little house with his parents, and he was like 25, 26. And baby, we would be in that back room getting it in. And I think was so good. And he was just love. He just was a good session. That's why I was willing to, he had came to me the first time. It was a good session, and then his car got fucked up, and I was like, "Well, I'll just drive down there," and that's what happened. I would drive down there, and we would have our fun. Yep, gas money. He would give me gas money, and we would have a lot of fun till the morning light hits our face. It would be, I would go probably at like 12 at night, and I would stay till like the sun came up 7 in the morning, and then hit it back home with a big smile on my face, pleased and drained of all sexual secretions. Diamond, do you think Jane? I don't know what you're talking about. That ain't a date. That's dessert. But yes, a date. I've never actually traveled for a date. Usually, if it's a date, you they come pick me up. So I never really travel. So yeah. Mhm. And not for no Bojangles. Ain't that chicken? Not an hour and a half for a chicken dinner date. It's really just processing in my mind. A chicken dinner date, no. I don't think we have a Bojangles here in Texas. I've eaten there, but we don't have a Bojangle here. A chicken box. I know you were over it. We have a chicken place here that's really good. We have Frenchies. We have the typical stuff like Popeyes and stuff. But I'm trying to think of the not typical. Is it? It's a golden polo or something polo chicken. They call it. It's called polo because it's like Mexican, but it's a chicken spot. Frenchies and something polo, golden polo or polo loco, el polo loco. Yes, yeah, polo loco, POLLO, which is chicken, I think, and I think it means chicken crazy, crazy chicken. I think polo loco, mm, el polo loco. Is it the crazy chicken? A crazy chicken? Is L the chicken craze? I don't know. Jollibee or Jubilee in LA is the best fast food chain chicken I've had. You know what's some good chicken in Louisiana? In New Orleans, I think you're talking about Los Angeles, but in New Orleans, there's a place called Brothers. It's like it looks like a convenience store, but if you go in there, they fry chicken. It is so good. We waited like some hours for it one night when we was there, like in June of last year. Me and Aria, we stood in line, and it was good. It was so good. It was hot and delicious. It was good. It was really, really good. It's called Brothers. It's not far from the Canal Street, but it looks like a convenience store. Brothers Food Mart. But it is so good. If you are in New Orleans, it is on. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I don't want to ruin y'all. I don't even want to say it. Some kind of name. It's called Brothers Food Mart, and it's good. I know, Q, in Mississippi, those be the places you get that fire ass fucking chicken. Those little stops, those little gas stations when you driving down the road, honey. They be having fire chicken, baby. Jubilee Filipino. Filipino chicken spot. I know when I was in high school, this little place called um I think it was called Dragon Inn. It was in Devington Plaza. It was this little strip center, Devington Plaza, Indianapolis.
Plaza Urbana is 15
Oh,
hours, 13
that is
minutes.
not what it is. Devington Plaza, Indianapolis. Permanently closed. It doesn't even exist no more. Shay. That's when you know you get old. That's when you know you're getting old when shit from your childhood is gone. My school don't even exist no more. My high school. Mm, 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 mm. But yeah, there was a restaurant there. It's called it was called Dragon Inn, and baby, I don't know, they wings when you get them, they like got a yellowness to them. I don't know where the yellowness came from, but they marinate them in this kind of sauce or whatever. It's not breaded. The sauce is, I can't even explain it. They don't. It's not like it's not like a like crispy like a like if they're breaded in flour. It's just marinated in something, and they just fry it like that, and it's just so good. The flavor, ooh, it's so good. And they just fry it, and it's just so fire. It was my favorite chicken. I loved it. Mm. Now I'm craving extra crispy fried chicken with the honey packet, a honey and a motherfucking hot sauce packet. You pour the hot sauce on there, and then pour the drizzle the honey on there. My favorite. Um, the turkey leg hut. I don't like the turkey leg hut. I think they're overrated. A lot of people like them and they stand in line for it. I don't like it. But I have a high standard for soul food. So because I have a high standard for soul food, a lot of what people think is good soul food, I'm like, this tastes like your auntie's soul food, not your grandma's soul food. You got a grandma who can cook and she has had the years of practice and it's just perfection every time you eat it. And you got the auntie that's been cooking, for a little minute, so it's cool, but it ain't great. Grandma's is great. That's my standard is great. So sometimes people be like, "Oh, the soul food here is so good," and I'll go and I'll be like, "Oh, this just tastes like regular person cooking soul food." Where it's not bad, but it's not great. And that's how I think of turkey leg hut. They're just really regular. Really regular. After the love is gone. Dun, 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 dun. Auntie uses the cheese packets or something. I don't know. She cutting some corners that grandma didn't cut, and so it's not perfect. Did y'all watch the David Foster documentary on Netflix about I know the name David Foster. I know the name, but I didn't realize like the name would come up, but you don't have a face to it. And he has been part of so many big ass hits. And I watched his documentary last night, and it was so good. After the love is gone. What you think about Melba and Harlem? I don't watch Harlem. I haven't got into it. I'm not really a Megan Good fan. There's nothing against her. I just usually her stuff be boring. Have you? What do you think about Melba's in Harlem? Oh yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking about the show Harlem. You talked about soul food. I've never been to Melba's in Harlem. Only food I've eaten in New York City has been like Jamaican restaurants. Um, um, Jamaican restaurants, stuff I don't go because soul food is my standard. Um, when I go travel, I eat things that are not my standard. Like I want to go to the Dominican restaurant. I want to go to the Jamaican restaurant. I want to go to something that soul food. I'm not going to another city and going to the soul food restaurant. I'm not doing it because soul food is like I always eat soul food. I want to eat something I don't normally eat. Do you agree with that a person who surgically transitions without medically transitioning should be, huh? What? Do you agree that a person who surgically transitions without medically transitioning should be considered transgender? No, I don't agree with that. I think that's stupid. I think the whole statement is dumb. It doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? I don't. What? All right, y'all. we done got to the weird hours. Child, Renee thought he was Janet. Girl, he tried it. That's hilarious. All right, y'all. Well, make sure y'all check out. Make sure y'all thumbs up. Make sure y'all check out the documentary in Janet. We have went on into the weird spot of the hour, which means it's time to wrap it up. um, but yes, it was a good documentary. There were some new things that I learned, but there was some stuff that I was like, oh, I already knew this, Janet girl. But you didn't shine no light. You still being closed off, honey. But it was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the details. But yes, um, I will talk to y'all Friday. I have, oh, just so y'all know, I have not next episode, but I think the next episode after, not this Thursday coming up, but the Thursday after that, I have a cishet dude coming on, and we have some amazing conversation. I think this will be my second cishet dude coming on the show. I think the first one was non-trans trans attracted cishet dude. I think the first one was George. I think, other than my family or whatever. But so does Rebe have the baby with James? No, she didn't have a baby. I think they talked about that. I thought that was always weird. I think it's weird when people think that Janet doesn't seem like their family doesn't seem like a family that would just throw a baby away or not claim a baby. This doesn't seem like that type of family. They are too family oriented. They're too dedicated to family. These doesn't seem like that is a certain type of person that would throw a baby away. That's kind of weird. Um, and Janet and the Jackson family doesn't seem like that type of family or type of people. Um, but yeah, anyway, I have it's another YouTuber that I really, really like, and he's coming on, and we interviewed, and our conversation was so good, and I can't wait to share y'all that interview. So, yeah, I will see y'all Friday. Bye, y'all. Oh, and I'll be posting that rap. Look, me and Ty did a rap song. I want y'all to listen to. It's called Clown. So I'll be posting that sometime later on today. I said I was gonna post it on Sunday later on today. So I'll see y'all. Bye.